Hey there, YouTubers. This is Three Bare Necessities with a EDC tool review. This is a sewing kit. It's got about 6 feet of high-grade fishing line in here, the fabric kind, and one single needle. It's all wrapped up in a nice, neat little package. Now, there are other videos with EDC pen sewing kits, and typically, the thread is wrapped around the outside, and there's multiple needles. Now, I have found in my own experience, needing a needle and thread, I usually only need one and just enough thread to get through that job. So there's only, like I said, 6 feet of thread and one needle in here. But it's nice, it's neat, and it's compact. Now these are 1-inch increments, and we are measuring right at about, let's pull it back here, right about 3.5 inches in length altogether. So this fits really well on a keychain or in your pocket or a purse if you're a woman. So let me show you what we're dealing with here. First of all, we got the cap. This is a little rubber non-slip grip from another pen. Just a little Zebra F403 or 405. I'm not sure what that is. Anyways, just a little non-slip rubber grip right there. So, take that off. What we got in here, like I said, it's 6 feet of line, and that's all wrapped up nice and neat. And easy. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to make this little tool. What you're going to need, like I said, is a non-slip grip. You can use it from any pen. I just chose this one because it was black and it, slim. It was easy to use. So, regular little paper mate pen. You can get these anywhere. They're super inexpensive. Most people just have them laying around. So, first thing we did, you got to take it apart, clean it. You're going to take the ink cartridge out of here. You're going to take the little writing nib out, and you're going to want to clean the extra ink right out of the end of that point. Okay, once you get that, you're going to want to trim that down so that point's a little bit long. You're going to want to put as much thread in here as possible, so trim that down a little bit to where that'll work. And this is actually going to be somewhat of a plunger to help push that thread down inside and hold it in there securely. So once you do that, okay, you're going to want to measure out your pen barrel to meet the length of your needle. Now, I have a little bit larger needle because, I got bigger hands and it's easier to hold a bigger needle. So, my needle went in place. Sits right about there. Okay. And as you saw from just having the thread wound up, it actually protrudes a little bit. And that's what you would kind of want, just to be able to grab it. So, that's how you're going to want to measure that out. You're going to cut that to length, and you're going to want to keep the end that the barrel goes in, all right? You don't want to keep that end as your backup, as the back of it, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. The barrel, this little nib end is only going to fit into one end, so just keep it like that. Once you cut that down, what I went ahead and did is just melt the end of it together. That's going to make that a little bit stronger so that this doesn't crack it and pull through. The next thing you're going to want to do to keep the needle from sticking down in here and interfering with the split ring, you're going to want to take just the last 1/8 inch of the end of that pen. All right, you're going to want to turn it down with some sandpaper or file just until it's big enough to fit in the end of that barrel. Okay, and that takes just a little bit, no big deal. Anyways, so you can see here just about how much you're going to have to go. Not very much. But once you get that cut down, you're going to shove the end of that down into here. Okay, and that's going to go right at the bottom of that hole. All right, and that's what your needle and thread are going to rest against. All right, so that encapsulates this little tube. All right. Now, once we've got that, the only other thing you're going to need is a method for winding your thread. Like I said before, There are other people that are winding it on the outside of their pens. I like to have it on the inside so it doesn't get interfered with. So this is just a little mechanical pencil cartridge. You can use a cleaned out pen cartridge, and I have a little notch cut out of the end right there. Alright, I'm going to show you how to use this. You're going to slide the needle in. Okay, you're going to make sure that the end of this is spun together to hold the two ends together. Okay, slide the needle in, stop right there where the two pieces meet, and you're just going to start winding this up. And you're not going to want to use hardly any tension to wind it, just enough to hold it in place. You're going to be sliding this off into that pen barrel. So I'm going to wind this up. The great thing about this little tool is, like I said before, it fits anywhere, and when you need it, it's there. If you're a bigger guy like me, and you wear out your pants, sometimes you blow out the bottom, and you're going to need to stitch that up before you get anywhere. So this is nice to have. I used to keep a needle and thread in my wallet, but it just kind of became impractical for me. So I went ahead and made this up. This is real nice. So we're going to wind that up to the end up here, and then double back. Now if you're using a thinner thread, like a regular Singer type thread, you can probably get a lot more line on here. This is heavier pound test fishing line, the braided fabric kind, which is what I like. It's great for repairs to clothing, to backpacks, wallets, whatever happens to break loose that you can stitch together. This is great material, and it also, when it's wound up, when you're using it, it holds its form, real easy. It's kind of like waxed line almost, but not waxed. Anyways, we're gonna finish winding this up. I keep winding over myself there. It really doesn't take that long to do this, which is the other part of this that makes it real nice. It's easy to maintain. So that gets to the end right there. Okay, now we're gonna take that, put that right in here. Okay, you're gonna use your thumb to hold that line in place. Got your needle. It's going to fit down into the end of that pen barrel. Just like that. And like I said before, you're going to use the end of that as kind of a plunger to stuff that line down in there. You're going to want to make sure you don't just shove this thing in there and pinch your line, because then you won't be able to pull your line out. So once that goes in nice and free, you know that it's not stuck. Take your needle, push it down in, just like that. And there you go. You're wound up and ready to go. Take the sleeve and the cap, push those together, and that's it. And there is 6 feet of good, usable sewing string. Anywhere, anytime. This is 3 Bare Necessities, signing out.